Rabotai Yekarim, when a person realizes that each one of their actions has magnitude to stay here for a long time, he has to start weighing his options. There was some scientists did some research, and they wanted to evaluate how long do certain materials in the world last. So, for example, a plastic bottle or a diaper that's thrown into the ocean doesn't dissolve for 450 years. So you take a piece of bottle, a piece of plastic, you throw it into the ocean instead of throwing it into the garbage, or you decide that you want to throw your kid's diaper into the ocean. Scientists said that it's going to take 450 years for this thing to disappear from the world. Now, anyone that's normal realizes it's a long time. Other things take less. Some 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Still, everything takes a long time. But nonetheless, if you take a piece of plastic, every normal human being will understand that that piece of plastic lasting in the world for 450 years, that's a lot of lifetimes. It's a lot of people. It's many generations. You made one mistake by going on a ferry, and instead of taking the bottle of water and throwing it in the garbage, you threw it into the ocean because you just don't care and you want to be funny. And that bottle is going to be in the ocean for 450 years. People are going to have to look at this bottle. It's going to do something in the world. You're going to have an impact for 450 years in the world because of this one action that took you literally a second. You took a bottle, you threw it in the woods. Somebody else will pick it up. And nobody picked it up for 450 years. That's your stamp. You're in the woods. In Shemaim, after a person leaves, they say, oh, by the way, that bottle you threw out and you polluted the world that Hashem created, that's you. That's you, that bottle. And that wrapper, and that cap, and that machine that stopped working, and so on and so forth. That piece of plastic you threw in the world, that's 450 years, you're in the world. 450 years, 400, you're everywhere. Except it just sins everywhere. Sins everywhere. That's something any normal person can understand. Why? Because all of us have probably done it at some point. We threw a bottle somewhere it doesn't belong. We threw a wrapper where it doesn't belong. But there's something much, much worse than the bottle. There's something much worse than a piece of plastic, because even the plastic eventually will dissolve. Even the plastic will eventually leave the world after 450 years. And that's when a person makes an action against Hashem. She says Lashon Hara about her best friend. Her best friend. But she says Lashon Hara about her. What kind of best friend is this? By the way, you should know, Lashon Hara only comes from best friends. It doesn't come from enemies. Your enemies don't care enough about you to say Lashon Hara. The best friends say Lashon Hara. She says Lashon Hara about her best friend. That Lashon Hara breaks up a shidduch. In Shemaim, a person goes up to Shemaim and says, oh, let me show you what kind of effect you had for eternity. That shidduch was supposed to yield 8 kids. Instead, she had a different shidduch with 3 kids. Okay, 3 kids are good. They're all tzaddikim. But it's not 8 kids. What happened? One of those 5 kids that's missing was going to be a big mezakeh rabim. He was going to help 60,000 Jews come back to Hashem. But now he's not in the world. Why? Because you said Lashon Hara one time. Said Lashon Hara one time, 60,000 people didn't do tshuva. Anyone that starts thinking and delving into their actions before they do it, they start thinking, you know what? It's just not worth it. Not that I don't want to sin. It's not worth it to sin.